Hey, it's Mindy, and in today's lesson, I wanted to talk about dynamics. This is going to be dynamics part 1, where we're really going to look at the accent tap. So the difference between a louder stroke, an accent, and the tap, the quieter stroke. One thing to keep in mind that's really important, the way to make your accents stand out, your louder strokes, isn't to put more muscle into them. It's controlling stick heights, and it's to actually make your quiet ones as quiet as they can be. That will naturally let the louder ones stand out. I give private drum lessons. I have a Patreon and a YouTube channel with a bunch of mini lessons, so thought I would mention that before we get started. Anyway, we're going to kind of look at 8 on a hand, and we're going to do it 3 different ways to start out with. First, we're going to do it full strokes, which usually beginners, this is the first stroke you use, where you get nice full range of motion, starting high, ending high. So 8 on a hand would be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this is one of the best exercises you can do as a drummer. I still do it all the time. It's one of my first pre-show warm-ups. It gets your wrists nice, moving through that full range of motion. Do it with a metronome. Usually you want to subdivide those eighth notes, so the click is on the 1, 2, 3, 4. You're doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in. And now let's look at the second sticking that we're going to do, which is the taps. So here, it's almost the same. You're still getting that bounce. The goal is to just have a baby bounce. You want it, in the beginning, I'd say go underneath 3 inches from the pad. If you can get it lower and control it lower, even better. I like to tell my young students to think of this as a kitty cat walking on the bed. So almost like it's there, but it's barely there. And that's what's going to give you that big contrast between a loud one and a soft one. So there, I'm not changing any muscle. Everything's relaxed. It's all just the height that I'm controlling. As you progress, there's other ways to get accents, like using a whipping motion, kind of like velocity. But for now, we're just going to kind of look at stick heights. So you do 8 on a hand, same way, but with your taps, working on control, working on keeping them nice and low, nice little baby bounces. Cool. And then now, so this is where, as a beginner, you want to start slow, mostly just focusing on your stick height and your control, where you're going to go on the 1, 2, 3, 4, full strokes, and those ands are going to be taps. So as you go slow, what you want to make sure you're mindful of is after that loud one, don't lock your wrist. What I kind of do is as it's starting to bounce up, I don't lock my wrist. I just lean into it to keep it in that down position so I am ready to do a nice quiet tap. In the beginning, a lot of beginners, they do the full stroke, it bounces up to like here, and then they try to like slowly bring it down to make that quiet one. So that's just a lot of movement that you want to eliminate. So down, pause without locking, and then a tap. So let's do that 8 on a hand style. It'll look like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what I have a lot of my beginner students do with this one is actually set your click, your metronome, for the 8th note so that each tap and accent is lined up with a click. And what this does is, in the beginning, a lot of beginners, when they're doing these accent taps, will have that heartbeat sound. Like the tap will come closer after the accent, and then they'll have that gap between the next accent. So just starting this with the click, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, will help you make sure that you have that accurate accent tap and you're not falling into a heartbeat pattern. Okay, so I'll demonstrate these on the kit. Basically, These help you create a really strong eighth note groove. Let me kind of demonstrate here. Just going to do 2 and 4 on one hand. Other hand's going to be like my hi-hat. I'm going to do the exact same thing, tempo and counting. The only difference is the first time all full strokes, and the second time we'll do those accent taps. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So nice solid, but now let's see it with those accent taps. So that kind of helps create the groove there. So a lot of songs, this will make a big difference in playing even like the most basic money beat on your drum set. So I'm gonna switch the camera to look at the kit, and then Alright, so I'm gonna play basic money beat. I'm gonna play it the 2 ways, once where every eighth note is a full stroke, and then once where I'm throwing in those accent taps to create more of a groove. Everything else will be exactly the same. I'm going to try to play it a little quiet because I'm kind of using my crappier filming device for this one, so sound might not be the best. Apologies. Here we go. And with those accent taps. And then I'm going to do it one more way. I'm going to do the accent taps, but I'm going to kind of use the whipping motion, the velocity to give that accent a little more power even, so that you can kind of hear the difference. And remember, I'm not doing this by using more muscle. I'm doing this by kind of whipping the stick. So almost like if you've ever cracked a whip. So the way up, it's slower. The way down, it's faster. All right. I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions on those accent taps, on playing them, on getting them more solid, go ahead and let me know. Happy to help. Thank you guys. You can follow me on Patreon, YouTube, or message me for private lessons. Bye guys. Thanks.